Good morning, it's Talking Reds. Good afternoon. We're doing it a little bit later today. We thought we'd do it a little bit nearer kick-off just to get the build-up going for Liverpool against Ajax. What it proves to be a big game. Hopefully Liverpool can do the business tonight and qualify for the knockouts of the Champions League. Let's go through all that and a little bit more. I'm joined by Craig Hannan, who is a bit down. He's not in Amsterdam, I'll be honest with you. He's like a sulky teenager upstairs, sloping around, sighing around, cursing Josh when Josh sends a message.
Bastard.
Slagging off Gutman.
Yeah, Gutman's been sending me pictures from Amsterdam and it's like made me equally happy and sad, I'll be honest with you. I haven't taken it well. No, do you know what? I'm better today because I'm excited about the game now. I think like post-Forest I was feeling a bit like down in the dumps, as everyone has been, a bit like just frustrated with everything surrounding Liverpool FC at the moment, and it's your job as well a bit. So I've had that and seeing everyone going to Amsterdam, but now I'm excited for this football match tonight, John. I'll be honest, I want to see Darwin Nunez play for Liverpool, and hopefully we get to see that.
Yeah, hopefully one or two back. Jurgen Klopp did his press conference late last night. He said Thiago is still not right, but then didn't completely rule him out a little bit later. Extreme ear infection. That's wild, isn't it? So he's still not right, but then didn't completely rule him out. Just waking up to this morning feeling fine and then playing, which is sort of a little bit strange. But I don't think we'll be seeing Thiago. But like you said, we will be seeing a little Darwin Nunez, and it's important, isn't it? Because it's important that we carry a threat as well. We don't want to, that was the thing against Forest, set pieces aside, it was all a little bit too easy for them to defend against. And then when, you haven't got enough of a threat, then it means you can go push forward a little bit, and listen, Ajax can do that. So, with the big fella up there, it just gives them a little bit more to think about, gives us a bit more chance of a goal. And yeah, it just means we're the ones, hopefully, setting the tempo and setting the vibe in this game.
And also, just finding the spaces that Ajax have been leaving in this tournament so far. We've seen it against Napoli twice, and they've had loads of joy in behind. I think we saw it at times when they played us at Anfield. I thought we were much the better side. We were unlucky for it to be 1-1 going into the final stage of the game. Obviously, Joe Matip rescues it for us, but I feel as if we can get at them. And I think one of the things that you notice from Darwin Nunez is that, first of all, his last 3 starts, he's scored in every one of them, and we often use the word chaos, and I've been thinking about it quite a bit. I feel as if it's actually undervalues what he offers a little bit. It sounds as if it's not orchestrated. It sounds as if he's just here, there and everywhere, and there's no sort of plan to his involvement. It's just chaos, when actually that's not the case.
No, it's movement intelligence, isn't it?
Exactly, and one of the things that you've seen at the weekend, we saw where it was all of our chances seem to come from set pieces rather than when Darwin Nunez is on the pitch. Seemingly he's getting chances. He saw it against West Ham. He's creating them himself. And so that'll be really, really important tonight, I think. So yeah, I'm just excited to see him again, because I think after the sort of 60 minutes we see against West Ham, you're looking at this footballer and going, wow, it feels this is it feels as if he's going to re-energise this team in so many different ways, not just on the pitch, but his mentality, the needle that's about him. He's just going to be loads of fun. And so then to not be able to watch him at the weekend was a bit of but hopefully he's back tonight.
I think his presence should help Salah as well. Salah gets a little bit lost in that game. We're trying to play him a little bit more centrally at the moment, but which I think is a good thing for him to be nearer the goal. But the problem is if the supply's not working or the ball's not sticking, he just ends up hardly touching the ball, which is certainly what you won't want from Mo Salah. So having this focal point, having someone who could hold it up, having someone who can occupy defenders to allow Mo Salah to play a bit more of his natural game, I think is a good thing as well.
Absolutely, occupying, that's exactly it. It's having more than one sort of key figure up there to worry about. And I think against West Ham you saw that. I think you saw a team that were continually worried about what Darwin Nunez was going to do next, because they couldn't work out, because he was so unpredictable. And I feel like Liverpool at their best, Liverpool are at their best whenever they're unpredictable for the opponent, but predictable for their own teammates. And so I want to see that tonight. And like you say, I think having him on the pitch at the same time as Salah, that'll leave space for both of them. They'll work in tandem in that way. I'm interested to see what he does. I'm interested to know what you think he'll do in terms of formations. Do you think he'll do 4-2-3-1? Do you think he'll go back to 4-3-3? Do you think there's a 4-4-2 move in there?
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I think
on the spot with that one.
No, it's fine. But I think it's he might always end up picking his team by thinking, well, who do I want to get on the pitch? So Darwin's fit, great, I want to get him on. Mo Salah, you want to sort of get him on as well. I expect Jordan Henderson to come back in, you know, maybe to play alongside Fabinho. And then, you know, you think, well, Harvey Elliott has been, you know, good this season, you know, has had a little bit of a rest recently, so should be fine to go again after the weekend. And so you're looking at that really, and the team sort of starts to emerge more based on, you know, who's available really, rather than, you know, I don't think necessarily any of these setups recently have been ideally how Jurgen Klopp wants to be, but it's been a necessity both in terms of, you know, problems we've had with the 4-3-3, but also, you know, having who's available. And so I think, you know, it might end up being a bit more of a 4-4-2 with Henderson and Fabinho sitting, maybe Elliott on the right, either Jones, who I agree with Jurgen, I think he does it all right in the week, considering he came in fresh and it's not a familiar position. He might be on the left, which I think he'd be a bit more comfortable with, or ask Cavallo to go again, and then it's Salah and Darwin up top with Firmino an option off the bench if we need it, or if Darwin, you know, we feel like he's only got 60-70 in him, then I think that's a good option, and I'd like to see us go with something a little bit like that, and then the back line is more or less picking itself at the moment, because I don't think Canati will be back. You know, you'd hope that Trent will come back in. You know, he had a good cameo, I thought, against Forest, you know, showed how dangerous he is. You know, his passing range was phenomenal. The set pieces were great in that game, and so I think the team sort of ends up picking itself in a way that, you know, isn't necessarily ideal. It's just well, who's sort of available. What do you think? Have I missed anyone there?
I don't think so. I think if Thiago's not gonna, like, I know I was worried about the ear infection, or I was happy whenever I heard about the ear infection. I was worried about him, but then they were thinking about it. I was like, surely he can play. I said to George Stratt at the weekend, I was like, surely he can play. It's an ear infection.
The nasty, you know.
You can get injections for like sore legs and stuff. Sure, we'll throw him in. And George was like, yeah, but he won't be able to do like the head wobble, you know, like which makes sense. I think that's pretty much it. I think. You know, I like the idea of it being Fabinho and Henderson. I think we're going to have a big 10 to get through in the beginning. Like, even when Napoli went to the Amsterdam Arena, or the Johan Cruijff, whatever it's called now, like, when they went, you know, they still had to sort of put up with not an onslaught, but pressure early on, and Ajax get the goal. I still think that, I mean, that's the first thing, that's the first rule. It's, and if I'm talking Liverpool team, I want them to know, please don't concede early on. Don't concede first. Give yourself the best possible opportunity. And look, I think in terms of the team that you've given, I think it's spot on. I think there's only really one player you can play in that sort of right position if we do go 4-4-2. I think if I'm picking the team, I'm literally starting from Darwin Nunez and going right, you know, thinking backwards, because I think he's going to be so important tonight. But also the idea of ensuring that Salah's central, because you know, I felt as if he was a bit lost at the weekend, and I wasn't really sure where he was meant to be playing, or whether it was just that we just couldn't get him into the game. But I think having the two of them up there be really, really exciting combination. Yeah,
just to bring in a couple of comments, a couple of people pointing out that Naby Keita is not in the squad, neither is Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. The manager talked about that. He said he was basically told that they won't be ready, and now they are. I don't think it necessarily matters for this game. I wouldn't expect either of them to play, although they might have features from the game. But if they do get through tonight, it will be, you know, a bit of a shame that if that Napoli game's a dead rubber and one or both of them can't play in that. But we shall see. We're getting ahead of ourselves there. But I
think it's good having them. Like, you know, it'll be good in terms of this weekend. I know that we're going to play Leeds. I think I feel like every game at the moment, I'm still thinking about the next game, because you're almost picking the team. There's so many games at the moment. You're having to pick the team based on what's coming up next, and Leeds have been really, really poor, and it's Saturday night Anfield. Like, surely it's got all of the ingredients for like some Darwin madness for goals. You know, we'll both sort of lift each other. I think this one we just need to get through. We just need to get the points on the board and ensure that we're still in this competition. You know, post World Cup, because it feels like the next 2 weeks. How many weeks is it? Yeah, two to 3 weeks now. Is pivotal, ensuring that like everything's set up to be much better after the World Cup.
100%. Yeah, it's all about setting up that run next season, you know, being still in full competitions and still absolutely going for it. Another comment here is from Aidan. He says he wants the 4-3-3 back and the high line. I miss us squeezing teams and controlling the game. With this formation, we let them come on to us. And I mean, it's a fair point, but it's, for me, it's, I just don't feel like we've got the bodies and the energy levels at the moment to sort of play in that way, and so that's where we were seeing all the gaps. I think I understand why Jurgen has changed it and gone slightly a little bit more conservative. Like Aidan says, it allows the teams onto us to sort of a little bit more than what we used to see them, but I just don't think we can play in that high octane way at the moment with the players who are available to us, but also you're asking a smaller group of players to play in this more intense way, and he's going to be looking at it and thinking, well, they're not going to be able to get through this schedule.
No, I think I think in terms of I think the 4-3-3 would actually work all right tonight. I know on the preview you were talking loads about about how Ajax set up and how their fullbacks push up. I mean, Ajax have always been 4-3-3, haven't they? That's like their sort of mantra. But how they're particularly dangerous from wide areas from the fullbacks and the two that play up top. And so I quite like the idea of going toe to toe with them, because I think we're obviously a much better side. It doesn't matter what sort of confidence levels or form we've got, we're a much better side than them. I'm trying to think of who the bodies you would use if that was going to work. I think there'd be Fabinho, Henderson, and probably you're asking Jones to go again. I'm just not sure about Harvey Elliott in that position. I know it worked against Man City, and I really liked against Man City, but I think he's just going to look at getting Salah down the middle, and I think he's going to. I think he thinks we'll be able to hurt Ajax on the break and sort of fill in those spaces with a Salah and a Nunez up top. Yeah, would be much more beneficial to Liverpool. My overarching worry about all of this, whenever we're talking about 4-3-3 or how many bodies you've got in midfield, is just the Fabinho thing at the moment. It's he's going to be tearing my hair out, because he's been for years my favourite footballer at Liverpool, and I'm watching him and he's like a shade of what, and I'm trying to work out, is that a systemic problem that Fabinho's almost been the casualty of, or whether it's legs, or whether it's just a run of poor form. I'm not sure, but I'd love a big performance from him. Like I suppose we saw against Manchester City. I'd just love more from him this season. Yeah, hopefully that is to come. I mentioned Johan Henderson before. People may or may not have seen the news this morning. There was a potential FA charge. There was an FA investigation. There's a statement that's come out from the FA this morning that I'll just read out. Parts of the FA said, following an investigation into an allegation received in the Premier League fixture between Arsenal and Liverpool, the FA can confirm it will not be taking any disciplinary action. The FA received complaints about an incident involving two players in the fixture. As a result of the complaint, the FA conducted a full and thorough investigation. They then go on to talk about how many players they spoke to, how people within close proximity using multiple angles of video footage and seeking independent linguistics experts evidence. I'm always interested in who these people are and what they're doing at other times of the year. I hope they're not the same people who are doing VAR, by the way. But anyway, none of the witnesses heard the alleged comments, and the player accused generously denies the allegation throughout. Whilst the FA is entirely satisfied that the allegation was made in good faith, it is equally satisfied that there is no case to answer. And then he goes on to talk about how they take these matters very seriously. I mean, it's difficult to comment too much on it, Craig. We don't know what the allegations were. There's obviously, the debate online, but, all I can say for sure is that it's a good thing for Jordan Henderson that this isn't hanging over him anymore. Like you said, he's in the FA said there he strenuously denied it throughout, and even though he'd have been, he could have been, ultra confident in obviously what he has said or the processes, it's still not a nice thing hanging over you for the captain of his football club. So a good thing for him that this is over. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I was just tired of the accusations and the what's the word for it, the guesswork that was happening on social media, as always. Stills of people's faces saying, "Oh, this means this" and stuff like that. It's just so tribal, trying to find things, and I'm glad it's over. I think you're right. I think things like this, you can't understate the sort of what it does to a footballer, the worry around this. But Jordan Henderson will have known, if he, what seems to be the case, that he didn't say anything sort of out of order, then he'll have known that from the start to the end. But yeah, just as usual, football Twitter sort of jumping on something, creating something, and whipping up the drama around it. It's just tiresome, so I'm glad it's chopped. Yeah, it all seems to be over now, and Jordan Henderson will be expected to be lining up for Liverpool tonight.
hopefully for the big Liverpool performance and hopefully through to the next round of the Champions League. We'll be doing, as ever, post-match reaction. We're doing it from here in Liverpool, although on the whistle videos, which is a really good roundup. We do subscribers watching all around the world. I know there's 3 or 4 who are going to the Amsterdam Arena tonight, including Josh Sexton. So they'll be doing little on the whistle videos that will be combined with ones in Liverpool, and as I say, a few different supporters clubs around the world as well. It's a really good video feature which is available for our video subscribers. There'll also be the post-match pint from here in Liverpool that Neil is hosting from the Red Lion pub on Slater Street, and also obviously the audio reaction which I'll be hosting, I think from the same place as well. We're all going to watch it together and do the reactions in different parts of the pub, hopefully after a big Liverpool performance. Hopefully, I mean, the last time we did that was Arsenal and it wasn't particularly sort of cheery.
I'm not sure I can go just out of like I had to watch the West Ham one at home. I couldn't go to the ground for different reasons, but I watched it. We won it, so I might have to do the same tonight. Just
that
to
was
get
the
the Reds
thing.
through.
We did the live event at Keynes on Saturday, and the space was brilliant. The staff couldn't have been more helpful. Everything, loads of people come down. We did a post-match pint after in front of the audience. It was all really nice, and it was like, you know, but can we go again? Because they got to be quite honest, which is like a really difficult thing to explain to someone who's like set all this up for you. And like, you know, as I say, the Keynes Village and the pub were all great, but you know, trying to explain to these business people, yeah, but you know, might not be a lucky place to watch the game. It's a bit of a
not going to start, is it?
It's a bit of a mad concept. So we might do that again. So if you did come down on Saturday, thanks for coming. Thanks for everyone who come in and watched the post-match pint live as well and got involved. Robbie Lawson more than most. But yeah, a few other people sort of got involved. So I hope you enjoyed that on Saturday. A few more live things coming up. We are going over to Ireland the first weekend of December. So the 2nd, 3rd and 4th. I'm spilling my drink already. I've not even got there. The 2nd, 3rd and 4th.
Sign of things to come.
Oh, very much. 2nd and 3rd and 4th of December. You can come and see us if you're in Ireland. So we're doing Belfast, Dublin and Cork across those 3 days. Tickets are available now. Go to theanfieldwrap.com/TAW live if you want to get involved in those. Also, the FSA Awards, and we've been nominated for Fan Media of the Year, which is very kind of them. We're always very pleased to be recognised. Obviously, there's some fantastic media to do with football being made sort of up and down the country with regards to clubs and independently and stuff like that. So whenever we are nominated, we are made up. But we want to win, and that is in your hands. And so do vote for us, please. Is there an easy way for people to do that? Mick will put a link in now.
Yeah, theanfieldwrap.com/vote.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
I know, yeah. We're not messing around here, John. And also, yeah, there'll be links in the comments or in the description area as well under that.
Yeah, so vote, get your family to vote, your friends to vote. My favourite ever is a teacher who got all his pupils to vote for us. That was good.
That was good.
That was good. More of that. Just thinking outside the box. Do you know what I mean? Ask not what talk can do for you, but what you can do for me.
We need you to be the Anfield Wrap's #1 market until
as again, step up again where others aren't. Do you know what I mean? As ever.
Cheeky man.
I hope you've enjoyed talking Reds. I hope you enjoy wherever you're watching the game in the world tonight. Hopefully we all get a win. Do make sure you're downloading the app for that brilliant and soon-to-be award-winning post-match content. But in the meantime, thanks a lot. To Farewell, to Michael, to Craig, to you guys. Up the Reds.